Heyo everyone, I'm Andrew Whipple from Gamer's Guide to Life, and this is Diablo III. We've been waiting 12 years for this title to drop, and finally, the day has arrived. But it's not at all what you might expect. Don't worry, the classic Diablo gameplay is still in full effect. You'll be hacking and slashing your way through the many regions of Sanctuary almost immediately. Diablo 3 contains 5 distinct classes: the Barbarian, the Wizard, which I played, the Witch Doctor, Monk, and Demon Hunter. All are a great deal of fun to play, with their own unique playstyles and abilities.
If only they could see me now.
The game looks pretty good, with enough variety in the environments to keep you satisfied, oftentimes depicting demonic realms and more serene landscapes in suitable fashion. There's even built-in traps that bar your way from time to time. You've got to give it to Blizzard. Give them some credit here. The environments, yeah, they're pretty damn great. What's taken a large step back, though, is the story. Maybe you weren't into it as much as I was, but the first 2 games had a pretty involving and interesting plot that motivated you to keep things rolling. Diablo 3, much like StarCraft 2, is extremely predictable and unsurprising at every turn. Some of the characters didn't resonate well with me this time around, and without ruining anything, certain events that take place had me shaking my head in disbelief. It kind of makes you wonder who made some of the decisions.
That's why you left me.
Unlike Diablo 2, which used the classic talent tree setup, Diablo 3's new ability system allows you to switch out new moves whenever you want. This means you aren't hard-locked into a certain path and can experiment with all of your abilities. There's even special runes you can unlock that change your abilities. Don't expect to allocate attribute points, though. That happens automatically now. If you think that's strange, you might also think the absence of identity scrolls, a slot dedicated to potions, and a crafting system sound downright weird. There's a whole lot that's changed over the course of 12 years, and for the most part, it takes a lot of the little annoyances away. The crafting system, though, it sounds great on paper, but you can upgrade different vendors and they'll give you different recipes, but it's not useful in the slightest bit. At least not until you reach the game's new difficulty, called Inferno. Jumping into the combat a bit, as I said before, it's classic Diablo gameplay. You know how it works, and it feels pretty good. Syncing up your abilities and trashing hordes of demons with friends is always a good time. There's even random events that happen at certain stages of each level, giving you a reason to maybe check them out again. Little touches like monsters that are too big for a doorway, crashing through it, they're nice. And some of the ridiculous monster names, they surface too. Alot the Savage? Yeah, that's pretty great. Speaking of stronger monsters, boss fights are very reminiscent of World of Warcraft encounters, which isn't a good thing for me. Unlike past games, you really need to watch what the bosses do in order to defeat them. It's not difficult, and for any game that should help its cause, but it just feels out of place in the Diablo universe. While classic gameplay hasn't changed, Diablo 3 has become incredibly streamlined. Accessibility like this usually isn't a bad thing, but in this case I believe it is. Anybody can get through the standard game, but Diablo has always been about dungeon crawling, and making your way up and past the hell difficulty to find the very best items. This is where Diablo 3 really went downhill for me. Blizzard introduced the auction house, where you can buy and sell equipment for in-game gold or real-world money. Cool as it might sound, the items that drop in the game are largely terrible, forcing you to farm more than you ever had to in previous games. At least you'd find something useful from completing an act and killing the rare spawning champion packs, right? Huh? No. If you enjoy playing like I do and try to earn yourself all the gear you need by just playing the game and discovering your own items, you'd be doing it for months. Maybe just to find one piece. Perhaps it sounds like I'm whining, but take it from a Diablo veteran. Item drops are skewed because of the auction house being present. It doesn't help either that the game had an extremely shaky launch, with the servers constantly going down, people getting kicked, achievements being erased. I had a boss monster double spawn on me, which was hardly cool. Since launch, Blizzard has been patching the hell out of this game, which I find funny because it feels like WoW again, with the various patches that fix and break characters and gameplay, something I absolutely despise. They even patched out items dropping from pots and neutralized a magic find affecting what's in chests. Since you can't play the game offline either, you have to deal with all of these issues. It's been 12 years. 12 years. Fun as Diablo III can be, that isn't a short amount of time, which is a huge reason why I can't believe Diablo III turned out to be so mediocre. This is a tough one to handle, but for what Diablo III has become, it just wasn't worth retail price. The amount of gameplay you'll get out of Diablo III is still substantial, but ladies and gentlemen, be prepared for disappointment.
I'm sorry for what I said before. I was upset.